Hello everyone, this is Hyperion-Blue-GT here. Update 1.62 has officially arrived in Gran Turismo 7. 4 new cars, new events, new engines, and other various issues, including 1 extra menu has been opened up on the GT Cafe. Let's have a good look, and this is going to be very interesting because a 2 Corvette concept car has now been set to go upon an arrival. So viewers, we got some 4 cars has now been sold in Brand Central, and especially for the Renault Avantime 3.0 B6 24B 2002 has now been sold as well, along with a used car dealership. The second is the 2026 Afeela 1 is now becoming as a road-going electric car production ready, along with 2 Chevrolet Corvette is the CX Concept 2025 and the CX.R Vision Gran Turismo concept has now been available. But this is going to be the perfect moment for myself. This will go for appraisal with some 2 kinds of Corvette racing vehicles to have a road car in electric and a racing car counterpart to have a hybrid powertrain layout. But also to have some 3 new events in Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for the World Touring Car 900 as additional after finishing up from Le Mans in the same event, Circuit de Saint-Eclair Speed Course layout in reverse direction for European Sunny Cup 400, and for Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600 at Michelin Raceway, World Atlanta. But we got 1 extra menu. It's now been currently to be finishing up is the collection for number 47, Japanese Racing Pioneers, to be available in collector level 33. New set of compensation with the characters to have 3 Renault vehicles on Chris for the Avantime 3.0 B6 24B 2002, and for Stella, the Kenko 1.4 2001 and the R4 GTL 1985. New set of a swap engine. And that brings out for the Renault Avantime 3.0 B6 24B is the first one will be reserved to get the Volkswagen GTI Vision GT Group 3 race car to have a nice good engine to pack up, and brings out to have a good reference livery variation just like the Renault Sport N-Space F1 from GT2. This is going to be quite cool. And one more thing perhaps about the RE Emilia FD3S RX-7 that brings out to have a new set of a swap engine besides the Roadster Shop Rampage. A Mazda 787B engine is now been available to go potential and listen to the sound of the racing rotary. But one scape has now been featured is Tokyo Bay has now been adding up as well, but other improvements and adjustments, but no sign of upcoming compatible feature for Gran Turismo Sobi, so keep an eye out for next month as we're about to go moving on forward to be proceed into the world map. Alright, let's have a good check on the used car dealership before taking a full stop by visit to Brand Central, and here it is right now on the hot price, viewers. It costs 39,000 GT credits. That brings out that have a base performance point is 377.18, that has a displacement is 2,946 cc, drivetrain is a front wheel drive, and it has 204 horsepower / 6,000 RPM. Max torque is 210.44 lb / 3,800 RPM. Length is 182.8 inches. The width 72.2 inches, and the height 64.1 inches. For the weight is 3,838 pounds. Aspiration is naturally aspirated. I bet this vehicle is going to be your only favorite ever since when you're playing from Gran Turismo 4, and the base color for example is Elite Blue. Let's learn more the details from any, and this Avantime is quite good to have a nice kind of a minivan. Looking for a coupe with real character? If so, then have I got the perfect choice for you. Built on the 3rd gen Renault E-Space platform, the Avantime is a unique looking coupe that embraces minivan elements. What truly sets apart is the remarkable sense of freedom it delivers, notably from its ingeniously designed rear seating. The body crafted from the lightweight FRP was built by Matra, a name once synonymous with Formula 1 competition. While it came with a range of engine options, this model packs a 3.0-liter V6 whose torque contribute to good handling. A true rarity, only 8,500 units roll up the line during the brief 2-year production run that began in 2001. Nice! This is a very good perfect choice band for all of you viewers, and I bet I'll have to purchase when visiting to Brand Central just in case to go for the notice of reminder. But what the heck, just have to take one stop-by visit to used car dealership, and then this will have to take a good full-on inspection to be labeled on brand new. But one way ticket to Brand Central, here I come. Starting out, we'll go visit to America to have a look on two brand new Chevrolet Corvette concept cars to have one electric and road car and the race car in hybrid turbocharged layout. So here it is right now, viewers. Both of them may cost with 1 million GT credits to have both of them to have one Corvette CX Concept 2025, and its Vision Gran Turismo concept counterpart is the Corvette CX.R. But this is very impressive and much more beautiful out there to have a nice good form of stylish and labeled to have a title and concept. It has the all-wheel drive layout to have a produced an electric vehicle to pack up in 2,145 horsepower. The length is 186.3 inches, the width is 86.5 inches, height 41 inches, and the weight to be put up in 3,086 pounds for aspiration type is electric vehicle. But much more beautiful to be impressive to have the 10th generation that considered this to be predicted by having a celebration until Corvette by reaching its 100th anniversary to this main part of the series. But only one base color available, but consider this will take a good guess to be titled in silver, and that is quite beautiful, stylish, and well labeled to have a nice first time ever to see this Corvette to be coming as an electric vehicle. The Chevrolet Corvette has long stood as a symbol of American sports car heritage. And leading into the future was the CX Concept, an all-electric hypercar that pushed the boundaries of innovation. Its cobalt shape and gracefully sloped roofline immediately brought to mind the classic Corvettes of years past. It was born from aerodynamic efficiency, delivering exceptional performance on both road and track. The most impressive feature was a fan-powered downforce system that maintained perfect aerodynamic balance at all speeds. Power came from an electric car setup with 4 electric motors producing 2,000 horsepower, distributing to all 4 wheels. Bold and imposing, the CX Concept carried the Corvette spirit proudly into a new era. For my guess, the Corvette CX Concept is now becoming as a 10th generation model, but I know you guys really think about this current model turns out to have the C9 or the C10, but the CX is going to be more likely as the 10th generation Corvette, but I really like it. This is perfect, and the logo itself, whenever you see this badge, place it on the front, is going to be a new kind of a bold generation has been looking forward to the future. But coming in, and this will go cost with 10,000 GT credits, and its CX.R Vision Gran Turismo racing counterpart to go racing up and reserve feature to be participate in a lap time challenge. But what's more, when purchasing with 2 Corvette CX Concept cars, it also features to have a different unique racing outfit whenever you're using to go for the CX Concept as a real car as a concept and the CX.R Vision Gran Turismo concept as well. The same price, and I already got everything to be required to the index just to have one part of the clip to have a price to go by a million GT credits. It has 1003.16 performance point that has a number of displacement without it, and it comes in to have a same all-wheel drive layout that produces to have a twin turbocharged BA hybrid. It has a good produced in 2038 horsepower, the length is 186.3 inches, the width in 86.5 inches, as the height in 41 inches, along with the weight in 2,756 pounds. But only one color available, and I bet this is a very good racing tracks version ready to see how it turns out to go for a number of gears will be featured to be put up with some modification to have a single kind of a concept car. So let's learn more the details about this good racing version to the Corvette CX.R Vision Gran Turismo concept. The CX Concept was an electric hypercar designed to carry the legendary Corvette name into the future. Among its variants stood the CX.R Vision Gran Turismo, a machine engineered to break conventions and push boundaries. Built exclusively for the track, it was lighter, sharper, and more aerodynamic than its road-going sibling. At its core were 3 electric motors plus a twin-turbo V8 that used e-fuel, making it ideal for endurance racing. Inside, every detail had been fine-tuned for competition with a focus on cornering dynamics and steering response. From the outside, its bold yellow and black livery recall Corvette's storied GT racing heritage. As the ultimate high-performance expression of the CX line, the CX.R marked a new chapter in the racing legacy of iconic Vette. Nice! The ultimate GT race car has been built designed into the future. But much more story to have a good kind of iconic previous generations from every Corvettes throughout the years in motorsport history from the late 90s to the early 2020s of today. But one additional extra to have a purchase requirement, and that will be doing very well to have one second Corvette is about to go for a track focus ready will be reserved to go entered at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. That should do very nice, and I can't wait to test this baby out. This one is a new age of a Corvette GT race car that features to go for the all-wheel drive layout in the drivetrain because of the V8 twin turbocharged hybrid. Now let's go visiting to Renault showroom and have a good look for the different price on the Avantime 3.0 B6 24B 2002. It costs 50,000 GT credits to get this one when you're visiting in Brand Central. And it has 10 color-based selection available to get this one whenever you might need to choose your own pick. The first one is the Grace Acier, second in French known as the Dark Purple, the third is in black, fourth Blue Teletine, fifth is Blue Medell, the next one in number 6 is Ila Blue, 7 in green is Bird Taiga, the 8 is Stippy, number 9 color is Bird Skelebi, and the last one is Mars Red. So I had to go on Ila Blue and learn more of the details from Martin about this good Avantime to have a role in perspective. Monoform bodies, known for roomy interiors, have long been the go-to for high-occupancy minivans. The Avantime turned the idea on its head, becoming the first to pair a spacious cabin with the sleekness of a low-occupancy coupe. Delivered from the 1997 3rd-gen E-Space, the Avantime broke new ground with its bold two-door layout and lightweight FRP body. This resulted in airy, elegant cabin unlike anything else, with no B-pillar, the side windows stretched to the rear. Open the expansive sunroof, it nearly feels like a full convertible. Painted by Renault's legendary designer Patrick Lee Clement, this unique coupe redefined what was possible with a modern bone body. But that might be a very understanding guess, but the Avantime is quite giving a good different role as a minivan and a shape form like a convertible. Just like much more labeled successor like the Renault E-Space ever since from the late 90s. But perfectly example, but count me in to have this one to be purchased in Brand Central. But don't forget, as I got the second one, in case I just might need to give a little bit more thought in mind to have another Corvette CX.R Vision Gran Turismo concept to have my own UDRS Inspotech livery. But collector points to go up by 50 points to be increased to have my total points to be updated into 869,276 points. But that would be more awesome to have the Avantime to go fully customization and modified to becoming as a successor, just like the E-Space that brings out to have a nice, good, improved performance to be using as a midship layout. But one minivan in two-door front-wheel drive layout is quite good enough to be challenging up to go racing on the course, especially when facing with some Group 4 cars. A third car to be added to the index, then let's go to Asia Pacific for visiting to Afeela to have a good look on the 2026 Afeela 1 is electric road car production ready. but it maybe comes in for free for the second one, just like the 2024 prototype counterparts. But this one comes in to have a new kind of a version that reduces for the number of performance points into 530.28. The same performance as usual to go in all-wheel drive that features with 3 color selection available that comes for free. The first one is Con White, second is Tidal Gray, and the third is Core Black. But I'll have to pick this one is the Con White is a good example to have this good production electric car ready. Learn more of the details, and this Afeela one is going to be quite good to have this model to be set in public by becoming a full official by next year. Afeela is set on redefining mobility itself, and that vision comes into sharp focus with the groundbreaking Afeela 1. Its exterior was minimalist and purposeful, free of unnecessary elements, even the door handles. Afeela is set on redefining mobility itself, and that vision comes into sharp focus for the groundbreaking Afeela 1. Its exterior was minimalist and purposeful, free of unnecessary elements. Even the door handles follow this philosophy. Looking inside, the Afeela 1 truly set itself apart, a full-width large display stretched across the dashboard. It came paired with an active noise channeling audio system that created a refined, immersive environment. There was also an intelligent personal agent which could learn your preferences and habits through natural conversation. Powering these features was an ECU with 800 TOPS of processing power, enabling advanced driver assistant technologies. Offered in both origin and signature trims, the Afeela 1 changed everyday driving into something truly extraordinary. Now this is very interesting, just like the prototype counterparts, but full-on production has not yet to be set and revealed to be labeled in public, but perhaps prediction has been assured. But I bet the Afeela 1 is quite good to be serving as a Group X counterpart, just like the prototype as well, to have a good place in 2024. But we're in 2025, by the way, viewers, and this one will be set out by next year later on to have this vehicle whenever you see in real life. But coming in, but comes in for free and save enough credits later on that you might need to do some more races, and even perhaps one different unique racing outfit has now been set to be featured as well. That's how 4 cars are now been registered to the car index. Then let's have a good look on the Renault Avantime and Afeela 1 before visiting to the GT Auto to have a good look on customization. Feast your eyes on this one, viewers. I know you're gonna like it. It's all about to have a good customizations to go modify with using the Avantime to have a good Type A custom parts to be using the front one as the example. It costs 3,000 GT credits to get this one to have an increase of aerodynamics along with the side parts. Just have one part removed and have the other part will be added as well to go label in Type B. Very awesome, is much more quite good to be additional to have some modifications with or without a wide body kit to have the Avantime. But look closely because it has rear cardinals to be placed in Type B that costs with 3,000 GT credits when you're purchasing on the rear parts, and for the wing parts. Now that's very awesome to have this wing spoiler for the Avantime is quite good compatible. But there's more. Wheel cages whenever you're gonna go with Type A, B or C, so pick whenever you like. It costs with 4,000 GT credits to have a different performance point will go increase a little bit. Just like the tow hook, whenever you like to take a good look on the view part on the front and rear by Type A or Type B. Hook pin, just have both of them to be well seen by preview. But very nice, and much as ever to have the license plate to go on US/Japan style and have Type B in European spec version. But that would be much more awesome to have a good look on the wheels, well matched, and go on compatible to choose your own pick of the style. but amazing as well because today's brand new weekly challenges is about to go featured to be racing on Osage Village when you're using your own Avantime to go track ready to be focused on road going. But what's more to that, I bet this will have to be put up on the wide body kit to go on the preview after taking one stop by visit to the used car dealership before coming right back again. Just give me a moment, viewers. This is going to be quite brilliant to have the first one to go example and the second one will be comes in to go on serve. Okay, the modification for wide body that costs with 25,000 GT credits, and there's going to be no changes on performance point and body size to be on a decrease or increase for the width, length, and height. But look closely, viewers. Before installation has been seen on the left and after fitting the wide body on the right. Just much more different and give a comparison to have a good look on the front and the rear self. But first example, we'll go install to have another Avantime from the used car dealership is going to be quite good, matching up the differences and go set on modification to have a good preparation to have my own UDRS Inspotech livery. But here it is, but pretty same, and the fenders is about to get much more different. But I'll have to give this swap engine and put up with a Volkswagen GTI Vision GT Group 3 car. We'll have to go ready up and pack up with the horsepower into 551 horsepower and adds up to have a weight in 3,706 for aspiration type that converted from the naturally into turbocharger. Let's give this nice sound to the engine and swapping up the type. Nice. Looks like a new F1 minivan has been comes to born. The Avantime has now becoming as a successor. I bet the custom parts might be turns out to go a little bit more slightly, so let's see how it turns out. Same thing, just like the non-wide body specific, it also comes in to go upgraded and go for Type A to be installed to be placed by 3000 GT credits, rear part to be on the side later on after installed with the side. Let's add this up onto Type B. Okay, third row on the option, and wing part to go install into Type A. Ta-da! One good track ready Avantime, and that will be quite good to be packed up with a swap engine is now at the ready. But one more thing perhaps, just add up with a roll bar cage on Type C, and then other parts will have to go add it up and make it much more track focus ready. Okay, that should do well, and one more thing perhaps to have the license plate, just in case, and then the second one will go add up on the wheels. Just pick any rims and I'll have to adjust up to see how it turns out to go for only one good track focused minivan. Okay, let's put up the BBS RI and looks like that should do very well. One good customization example to go for the wide body or non-wide body specific for the Avantime 3.0 B624B. But not yet until the second one, as I had to take a good look on the Afeela 1 2026 is going to be slightly to be a much more different, just like the 2024 prototype counterparts. But looks to me, it looked like the same thing as well, but other kinds of options has now been compatible to have some different set of wheels, whenever you like to have your own pick, and especially to have two options on custom parts, just like the front part to go in Type A that costs with 7,000 GT credit, and also for the custom wing set that brings up with 2,500 GT credits to go on different position as a sample to go on medium or low, or maybe perhaps just have the high spoiler to be labeled to go for one single type to go full on electric. But also yet available to be using on racing items and other parts, just as usual for Type A and Type B as US/Japan specific. But no other effect to have a good place on European licensed version because same as ever, just like the Afeela prototype 2024. But this model, as Afeela 1, has featured to have the same method, just like the previous, as considered this to be entered as a one-way category when you're using in custom race. But speaking of which, when having two cars has a good full-on inspection for the update, maybe let's go to the GT Cafe to have one extra menu available to be serving up to go on Japan Pioneers. Since acquired 3 Mercedes-Benz vehicle on number 46 as an extra menu, gonna have to go down and line up current to be placed on number 47. Collect Japanese cars that changed the West in early days of racing. First up, that you need to have 3-car requirement to get the Nissan Skyline Hardtop 2000 GT-R Type KPG C10 1970. Second is the Honda S800 1966 and the Toyota 2000 GT 1967 that you need to get the 6-star roulette ticket on the engine type category. As already got all 3 cars acquired, let's go receive rewards. Congratulations, you collected all 3 cars. This completes your Japanese Racing Pioneers collection. Once you receive your present, I'll tell you some stories about these cars. Go right ahead, Luca, and one good Japanese Racing Pioneers as a true masterpiece. Collection, Japanese Racing Pioneers complete, and one 6-star roulette ticket for the engine type has been earned. Let's have a good narrative story about these 3 kinds of Japanese Racing Pioneers for extra menu number 47. These machines stood as shining examples of Japan's earliest ventures onto the international motorsport stage. It wasn't until the 1950s that Japanese cars began competing at international rallies. It wasn't until the 1960s that Japan began to establish race circuits built to international standards. The Suzuka Circuit opened in 1962 and the Fuji Speedway in 1966. That year marked the debut of the Japanese Grand Prix with the Fuji 24 Hours following in 1967. These events showcasing the world's finest cars and drivers became the ideal proving ground for Japan's emerging race teams. They give rise to countless machines that have long been enriched into our collective memory. Take for example, this first-gen Skyline GT-R, which had 49 consecutive wins at Japanese touring car championships. This is the KPG C10 model, a 2-door hardtop from 1970, a true Nissan legend. Honda began its motorsport journey on 2 wheels and quickly gained recognition for its small sports cars. Among them was the S800, powered by a sub-800cc dual engine, delivering remarkable performance from a compact package. A favorite among privateers, it became an unstoppable force in the under 1000cc class. Toyota took to the track with its flagship 2000 GT. This high-performance Grand Tourer embodied the full extent of the company's engineering prowess. It began with a commanding 1-2 finish at the 1966 Suzuka 621.4 miles, and from there it captured numerous victories. This is a truly remarkable collection, one that captures the spirit of the 1960s and the dawn of Japanese motorsports. So viewers, the origin of Japanese racing would all begin from the 1960s. History just comes out with its origin before motorsport has been entered for the entertainment of racing. Now that's what I call the history of automotive culture that brings out with some 3 iconic manufacturer brands for Nissan, Honda, and Toyota. Classic is all about to have the roots of the origin that features to have the showcase of the early days in racing. There's more to that. I really think to have a good look on Tokyo Bay that features to have a new scene location, from Odaiba to the Omatu parking area. This is going to be more beautiful, nicely, and one good feature to be added to the game that adds up with some 24 background scapes. So this one is going to be quite good, beautiful whenever you guys have to choose your own pick. Now let's start out to have something very much more realistic. But one more thing, perhaps to have this scene background to be well featured to be placed along with Shinagawa Wharf. But very cool and much more usual to have the new ones to be well placed to go on featured scenes. But maybe I'll have to start out with this one. I'll have to give this new background a try, and it's going to be more beautiful to be take place in early nighttime. Got to go on model year. Example to have the 1960s to go label in Japanese pick. So where is my UDRS Inspectec livery? Or there's the Toyota 2000 GT, and this one is good to be fresh on example. Just have the high beams turned on and put my guy right here. Just have to give this for only one summertime memory to have this good part of the moment. Just have my visor to be closed and have the pose to be well seen, and which one should I get? Okay, there you go. Just have one picture coming up, rendering, and one beautiful true masterpiece. Okay, very clever and good scenic Tokyo background style. But how about the Torosu Gariki Park? This different scene background is quite good to be familiar, or something more different to be interesting. Just have to go for a different model year to be right back into the 1960s and choose for only one Japanese specified pick. Got to go on country and labeled to be having a good specified in Japan. But maybe I'll have to give the double C and place it to go well seen. That would be much more quite good to be a similar reference from Wagon Midnight, but it's always about to have different fan art types to go be creative. Just to go on degrees, and there you go. Just like that. Well, pretty well basic, and that should do enough. But I kind of like about these new kinds of organized background scapes from the previous, just to have one new selection to be added to the update. But I bet 3 races will be coming up to go on the feature, but I still might need to have enough time until the next day, or I'll have to do it for only one moment on the free time, so I had to get prepared to go for only 4 cars to be put up to the test. Alright viewers, next day arrives and ready to go to Willow Springs International Raceway to go test it in drive mode when using the Corvette CX Concept 2025. Got to go in the Big Willow, and time of day to go in morning by 6:30 a.m. is going to be a good attention to detail to go drive mode in electric hypercar style. As I'm a huge fan of Corvette like myself along with the rest of you, it's all about every generation that brings out to have a shape, size, and different performance, from the roadster to iconic muscle cars to supercars and to newly generation electric hypercar is going to be putting up to have a pattern in order. It's all about to have a different form and style to see the Corvette CX Concept 2025 that features with an active wing spoiler when racing on the track and the road itself. But this is going to be quite very good to be brilliant to have a one practice to go racing in on the rolling start to take place around in the final corner. First impression, here I come, and this is so beautiful to see this active wing spoiler when rolling start to go in the final turn. Just have to go faster up on drive mode and look at it. This is so very loud to be calm, and the tires whenever you hear it by giving a single sound of the screech. Gonna have to keep a good apply on the first turn as the timer limit will be starts on the first lap. This is so brilliant and well awesome to see this good Corvette CX Concept is now been driving up on the main course at the Big Willow. The handling is quite good to be balanced in the all-wheel drive layout because it uses to have a one single midship layout that uses to have the previous Corvette models that uses from the FR layout to a mid-engine and brings out to go for only one hybrid spec version ever since the Corvette C8 is now been well packed up to be featured to be using in hybrid specs. But inside with this interior dashboard, this is very more interesting to have a good glimpse of the future when you're driving on the track. But much more pretty awesome out there to have a good line all together to keep racing up and go consider this as a Group X category to be serving in one-make races when you're entered on the custom race. Just have to take a good look on the top speed. It can go up by almost in about 175 miles per hour to get up by 200 miles per hour. First lap is all clear. Now I'm gonna have to take a good faster run time in lap 2. What I actually like about this steering wheel, this is very much more glimpse of the future to be well designed in the mid 21st century. Just like all the other kinds of steering wheels on every Corvette throughout the generations of these years of the bygone decade. But look closely once you're about to go clear on the first lap. It may be featured to have a gap distance when you're racing on the track is going to be quite very interesting to go pack up to go for only one single lap time event. But not to mention about the Corvette CX.R Vision Gran Turismo has now been featured as well to be racing at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. I'll have to put that one onto the list and just have to see how it feels when to go racing in competition to go for a twin turbo hybrid as a powertrain layout. But this road-going Corvette CX Concept is an all-electric hypercar that could be featured to go on drive mode. But you're gonna have to try this out, viewers. This Corvette is a new generation of the future of today. But not yet over for the next 20 years to have this CX Concept, which has now been becoming as a full production model ready. But unlike the next generation Corvette that we have to find out soon enough, but one good excellent Corvette that could go anywhere and well seen some good car influencers to be well packed up to go on a showcase along with its Vision Gran Turismo counterpart. So this is going to be quite very awesome and just have to keep a good respected drivable to have this good Corvette to go anywhere on different racetrack when you're about to be using in every event and especially for the weekly challenge itself. Got to go speed up a little bit. Gonna have to catch up to my main ghost car. Okay, it's all about having your skills will go discipline and handling when it comes to high-speed racing. Okay, one good faster runtime record, 1 minute 11.783 seconds as I go on in the 4th lap. Let's give this Corvette to go maximum overdrive to keep a good eyes on the main turns and corners when using in drive mode transmission. But only one thing perhaps, when using any kinds of concept car, it may not be featured to go with applied upgrades, just only have tires available if you're about to be using with the Sport Soft as a default, that you might have to get things up to go included with some racing compound tires. Now, gonna have to keep a good easy eyes on the gap distance. just only have 0.1 seconds to go increase around to be placement by a single second to get up by 2. Okay, very impressive. Now I'll have to keep things up and nail the final turn. Full stretch coming up and beat my current time to go a place by over a minute and 10 seconds. Sweet and awesome faster time attack. Only a minute, 8.938 seconds, and this is a very good glimpse of the Corvette future of the generation to become by brand new. But perhaps it was also to be part of the GM design for Vision Gran Turismo along with the Chevrolet Chaparral 2X Vision GT. But the main time to have one good part of General Motors of this design is the Chevrolet Corvette CX Concept along with its Vision Gran Turismo counterparts. But thank you Chevrolet to have this vehicle to be added to the game, and hopefully for all Corvette fans out there, just have to make your own kind of livery design variation, or perhaps just have to choose any kinds of plain colors whenever you like to pick. But the silver is a quite good title of the Bull original ever since the 1959 Corvette Stingray Racer concept, but the CX is going to be quite very awesome out there to have this one to be entered in the online races to go in the lobby. So this is what they call in for a day, and Fit Lab practice test run is about to be officially over soon for the first car test. Alright, let's exit out, and here's my best time in 1 minute, 8.938 seconds. But very good to have a well improvement to be placed on 3 sectors highlighted in the green by lap number 4. Sector 1 in 21.081 seconds, along with Sector 2 in 26.409 seconds, and the third sector in 21.448 seconds. Very nice. And it's so very cool out there to see this new kind of a Corvette that shapes for the concept car for the early 2050s in the mid 21st century. Now, this will have to take 2 replay content to be saved and have an image we'll go capture on the thumbnail. But much more beautiful to see this good kind of a Corvette in action, to have one single time trial test impression at the Big Willow and see how it does to go for only one good scene of the spotlight. But one image capture, and I'll give the Chevrolet Corvette CX Concept 2025 a massive 10 out of 10 and 5-star rating. But I already got 2 content replay to be saved and 1 good placement on the ranking board. We'll have to do 1 good test has been set and done. Now for the Chevrolet Corvette CX.R Vision Gran Turismo concept before heading up to sport mode after getting up with some earnings for the RE Emiria FD3S RX-7 at the Nürburgring Grand Prix. Car test number 2 coming up, and another Corvette will go racing up in the Vision GT style. Well, so far out there that I just end up in silver, and no need to have a little bit more change focus to get up on the gold record, as I ending up in rank 9,784 place that receive in 1 million GT credits. But further yet, there's going to be having 1 special surprise lap time challenge to be featured for the return of Honda Racing is now been going up for this year as a 3rd season. Honda Racing EMS 2025 to go online qualifiers when using the Honda NSX Concept GT 2016. It's about to be take place at Autodrome Lago Maggiore in full course layout, and this will have to take 1 month left only and about 20 days left to go. So I had to add it up to the list, and this will might have to get a good eyes focus to have car test number 2 when using the Chevrolet Corvette CX.R Vision GT concept. But this is going to be a tough challenge to go racing in WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca, as the regulation to be put up in racing soft compound tires, and the entry period has been already open on August 28 and ends until September 11, 2025. But don't forget viewers, the gold timer record is about to be placed on the target in 1 minute, 6.371 seconds, and see how you can do very well to go hard, challenging up, and tame the Corvette CX.R Vision Gran Turismo concept to go up by over 2,000 horsepower. It's an all-wheel drive layout and turbocharged to go pack up in the hybrid that you have to go racing and master the line. But this is going to be a little bit tricky, viewers. The BOP apply will go into low speed trap when you're about to be mastered and feel the experience with a Chevrolet Corvette CX.R Vision GT concept. Much more similar than the standard electric hypercar, but one track spec version is about to go competition to be at the ready. I want to make sure to do your best out there, viewers. Mastering the Chevrolet Corvette CX.R Vision GT concept is a one good sibling than the electrifying Corvette CX Concept has now featured to go on transmission gear with a B8 twin turbocharged hybrid to go on the aspiration type that brings out to go for a high speed limitation to go for the number of gears. But if possible, it's all about to have the skills, strategy, and make your mark will go achieve to get focused and stronger to have the main percentage to be placed on the goal. And here I go before a 3-second countdown to go rolling start in action. This is going to be so cool out there to go racing and sub-compound tires to be packed up, and that will be going one good test of the practice to have the same course ever since from the official trailer video. But much more obvious to have the same kind of a layout drivetrain that features with an 8-speed transmission to go up by over 250 miles per hour. But look closely, this will have to get tricky up on the main turn on the first lap. The active wing spoiler change up and go glide around on every turn when you're racing on the track. But this livery as car number 3 is quite good to be impressive to have some dominance for high-speed Vision GT cars such as the Dodge SRT Tomahawk GT-S-R, Bugatti Vision Gran Turismo, electric car counterpart for the Honda N 2025 Vision GT, and of course the Chevrolet Chaparral 2X Vision GT. Different kinds of Vision GT cars has its own characteristic, performance, and well outfit to have a one single B8 engine for the Corvette CX.R Vision GT. We'll look inside to have a same kind of a dashboard interior view when racing with its racing car counterparts. Much more quite very spacious and very more detailed to see this racing version of the Corvette CX Concept. But the steering wheel turns out to be a bit much more different than the road-going hypercar sibling. So I got the first lap to be checked, and heading up to take the second lap will go faster and time attack style. Got to make sure to keep it nice and tight, and clean racing is a good part of the scene. There's my ghost car, just have to go dive in on turn 4, follow up, and accelerate to go faster any way I can. But a little bit more time to go for a joyride. Might need to get a good focusing detail to see the Corvette CX.R Vision GT is a good kind of American racing GT Corvette. Gonna have to pull out the brake and take the corkscrew. Second time comes up and master the line to go down. Okay, very nice. 0.7 seconds. Handling is doing well to change up the number of gears, but it will be possible to have this one to go entered in WTC 900 events on any racetrack, and especially for the Group 1 Prototype Series. But remember, it also brings out to have some tuning requirements to go meeting up by the regulation. Just have to go on the third lap. It's all about to have the good skills, and the racing outfit is about to be set to go on unique outfit. Same goes to the Chevrolet Corvette CX Concept, but the CX.R Vision GT Concept has the same effect to have this main current vehicle to be switching up and go on the main course to go practice and take on with some few other race cars, and of course with some few other Vision GT cars as well. So I had to get myself focused. Going clear on the route straight. Alright, very nice. Got the dive down to take turn 10 and wait until to go on the brake zone to be Q on check. Okay, so lovely for the competition. Okay, going well to go faster up, and time improvement by a minute, 11.412 seconds, as I will stay on track, and that will have to take a good first on impression as car test number 2 for detail. But maybe I'll have to switch up onto the hood cam because I spend a lot of hard working days and hours throughout the weeks and months by focusing to do some upcoming content videos that related to the lap time challenge. But the tagline itself for my channel, having new content videos takes a long time by doing hard work. That's the motto, so I had to do this on myself without anyone and just had to be on the main standalone crew. Okay, let's get things up to go rack up the focus. This is going to be a very hard lap time challenge event. Just have to keep things up and do one single lap to go exit on the final turn at number 11. Okay, fifth lap, do your thing, and here comes the second turn at the adrenaline hairpin to go together on the inside to reinforce it. Okay, there we go. Just have to put up on 0.5 seconds and don't get off the track. I'm always hungry for one objective lap time to get up and improve myself to go craving up on the cruise. So I had to dance the corkscrew. Steady as it goes. Dive down and going exit to be around on to turn 9. Okay, very good. Just take turn 11 at the last turn. Going full stretch and make my record to go update into a minute 10.190 seconds. Steady as it goes. I'm on the 6th lap and going faster up for the advantage to go proven skill. But very much more challenging when it comes to the response of handling. But it can do well on straightaways and just have to deal with some tight turns to go on cornering. But however, when facing up the corner, it could be more possible to be switching up to go either between gear 2 or gear 3. Just have to go quicker warm up, for instance. It's all about training to have some 2 Corvette Concept road car, and the race car itself is very more challenging to go on experience. But the tires to have a good perfect choice to have some Michelin's tire sticker to be well seen, and that will be quite brilliantly to see this good tire sticker sponsored by Michelin. Got to slow down on gear 2 and make that full stretch before the reset to go entered on lap number 7. But don't slow down yet. You might need to go a little bit more faster when it comes to have some high speeds on straightaway and deal with some tight turn corners to see how the handling and the skills will get tricky. So I got my average time to go on the previous since the 6th lap is a minute 12.020 seconds. Got to keep going, so I had to go faster, rolling up all the way. So I'll have to give the 8th lap to do this one and fresh up and go faster on the stage of endurance to go serving up on the main course. Okay, close call by pulling out the brake at the corkscrew. Concentration is the key of a Corvette success. Alright, here comes the most high speed ever yet. ever since 8 laps around the course it's about to get a little bit worn out on battery. So here it is right now, and this is what you might need to do to take 7 laps. Will go faster up and improve yourself to avoid drain amount of the battery. But that should do this for only one single session for today. So there you go. It takes total of laps by 7 and number of times to go by over 8 minutes, 39.841 seconds to have one single session to be cleared and outfit to have a one workout of today's driving marathon. But look closely, you guys. This different racing outfit is very much more brilliant to see how it turns out to go interesting when using 2 versions on the Chevrolet Corvette CX Concept and the CX.R Vision Gran Turismo Concept. So that brings out to have one 4-star roulette ticket by today's daily, and here it is for only one session 1 outcome by the result according to the stats. By doing the calculations when trying out with the Chevrolet Corvette CX.R Vision Gran Turismo Concept at Laguna Seca, 3 sectors is going well improved and average on standard to be placement to go around by 3 sectors highlight in the green. For example, on the 6th lap by Sector 1 in 18.528 seconds, along with Sector 2 and 3 in the 5th lap, 31.162 seconds and 20.440 seconds to have a good place on the label best time, as I took by a minute, 10.190 seconds to go for the max speed requirement is 201 miles per hour. But remember folks, taking 7 laps, that brings out to go pack up the battery. When it runs out, this is going to have to go back to our normal drive mode without it. If you're going to have to go quick, go hard, and be strategized to get up by a minute and 6 seconds to go around for a comparison to top car by a percentage. So let's see the results and placement to go on the bronze in position 25,985th place and comparison to top cars in 8.93%. But yeah, this is going to be very hard out there to master this Vision Gran Turismo car designed by Corvette as a CX.R Vision GT concept. But one more thing perhaps, one content replay for a short period to have a good look and have this one to go zoom in to be placed. Just have to go a little bit more closer and slower to have a thumbnail image. There we go. Now exit and have both content replay to have a single session to go on save. But terrific, impressive, and Corvette beautiful to have a good kind of a CX.R is quite racing concept to be titled in Vision GT. So I really think putting up with some 3 events for the update, as I will go on to have 2 choices if I had to go for the 2026 Afeela 1 or the Renault Avantime will have to be packed up to go on 2 new events will be featured to go on pre-race interaction, and of course for Circuit de Spa Francorchamps for the World Touring Car 900 after finishing up from Le Mans. But time for me to go test out to have some 3 events to go by brand new, and of course to have 2 new vehicles for only 1 halfway mark to be proceed to go on the progression. On behalf of my own appraisal, the Chevrolet Corvette CX.R Vision GT concept has turned out to go competition grade ready to have a nice placement to go 10 out of 10 and 5-star rating to go adding up by +1. But awesome and good different form of the Corvette racing style to have a nice ways and go on experience to be reserved to be participate in this brand new part of the lap time challenge. But next up, 2 more road cars as I will have to be ready up to go for the Afeela 1 2026 at Michelin Raceway World Atlanta for the Japanese all-wheel drive challenge. But before that viewers, I'll have to take a good look on 2 new events for the update, as I will take a good look on European Sunday Cup 400 as additional race number 7 after Watkins Glen short course by trying out with the Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure 2021. But much more featured to have a good eyes on the Renault Avantime right next to the Peugeot SUV 2008 Allure. 2 laps in the B course layout on reverse direction in Circuit de Saint-Eclairix along with Michelin Raceway World Atlanta will go adding up into race number 9 after Lake Louise short track. But 3 laps should do very well, and I'll have to take this one to go car test number 2 and progress to go participate to get eye focus in 3 events as the WTC 900 to go available to have race number 6 after Le Mans. But here it is right now, viewers. Just only have one race without one featured Gran Turismo player for the interaction, and the past result will be set into none, and maximum reward to go earn up in 300,000 GT credits. Same as go for Le Mans, it could go up by maximum award to be placed in 400,000 as well. So let's get to it, and moving on forward, we'll be proceed to go into event number 9 for the Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600. But one more thing perhaps, I'll have to purchase on the hard compound tires to be set by default and adds up with some sports medium and soft tires. Got to go change up the performance, but no upgraded parts allowed, except some other parts will be applied to go adjusted on performance points. So let's see some progress as I'm about to go car test number 3 and first of the challenge on event 1 for the update is I will go clean racing and full electric and drive mode to be mastered with the Afeela 1 just like the prototype 2024 counterpart. And feature for only one today's Gran Turismo player when entered in Renault Avantime for the Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600. Trent Jeffrey will be rated up to go feature to have a main opponent will be added as well for the main content update. So here he is right now, he's on 5th place, and I'm about to go on 10th place before one tip of the interaction about one road going production Afeela 1 ready. Hi there, I'm Trent Jeffrey from Canada. Today I'll be driving the Afeela 1, a car that feels like it's from the future. Forget traditional door handles, this car opens with cutting-edge facial recognition. Inside, it has large display that facilitate natural conversation between you and the car's personal agent. In its integration of motors, brakes, and suspension provides optional handling on various road surfaces. A trailblazer in every sense of the word, the Afeela 1 is a car that makes every day feel like a new adventure. This is going to be so very awesome out there to see one automatic vehicle between the driver and the AI conversation agent. Just have to see how it turns out to go one tested to have a one corroboration when racing on the track. I'll have to see how it feels. This will be doing a similarity to have a different kind of a Afeela prototype has now becoming as one production road car ready. First lap coming up, and here I come. We'll go overtake with some classic JDM road cars to be racing up in all-wheel drive balance. Got to go shape up to be organized on the grid start to have a nice placement to go overtake Epileo Gallo with his Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 3, followed by Q Giro in the Subaru Impreza STI version 6. Gotta keep it going. One good eye focus on Daniel Solis in 7th place for the Subaru Impreza sedan to have a 2nd generation model. Got to go full drive mode and feel relaxed without switching up on the number of gears. But it turns out to have the same kind of the Afeela just like the prototype 2024 counterpart that also features to have the one road going production as the 2026 models that features with a low lip spoiler to go active when drive mode. But very excellent and very well on transportation or use it on the track. But look closely to have a nice interesting to have some changes with this interior dashboard. Turns out to be slightly different out there to go faster on the top speed limit that goes up in almost 150 miles per hour. Now going up onto turn 10 by the chicane by point A and B. Got to get behind on A. Brooks in 5th place for the Mazda 3 2021 to go enter in and get closer to be reached on top by turn 11 and approaches to take the final turn on number 12. So there goes for only one single lap faster run time by a minute 38.890 seconds as I will catch up on Trent Jeffrey in 3rd place. There he is right now. He's already did well by overtake Takuma Minasono, and he's getting closer to catch up to Angel Inestrosa in the Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 6 GSR TM SCP 1999. Got to go dive in slowly, and calm is the cooperation between the driver and the AI personal agent with this car. Okay, naturally to go well clean overtake. Now heading up towards Mikhail Hisal's current position to catch up in turn 7 through turn 8. But remember, this is very more importantly to have this race to go full clean condition as you're about to be prepared to go for the future weekly challenges that brings out to have one special event between two Afeela road cars for the Prototype 2024 and the Afeela 1 2026. But both of them are the same and different features are about to go change up to have an updated look. Like this one for example that has a low width spoiler to go active up when drive mode to go in style. Now I'm about to catch up to Mikhail Hisal's current position. Always doing well to have a nice Subaru Impreza 22B STI is going well expert to become an all-time Japanese road car from the 90s. But make way for the new generation road car to go in drive and dirt lap coming up to take the final run. Got to keep going. Got my faster lap time to be updated in the same time and go for the point decimal in 4:49 seconds. Drive well to be pleased and feel the handling to go on the line. But a little bit more comparison to see some two Afeelas to go in action ever since to be participate from the Japanese Clubman Cup 550 at Osage Village in the reverse direction ever since to see how the differences between one event for another and both Afeela prototype versions and the road going production has now been same to go for the matter of perspective racing scene. But it looks the same, but the handling turns out to go for the same as ever, and different style looks so very slightly to be turns out different. Just have to go a little bit more faster to get up by 150 miles per hour. Just wait until the straightaway to come up and pass around to go by turn number 8 and 9. Here comes the third sector. Time to go brake and max speed requirement to go under 150. But the handling looks so the same and brings out to have a good skill opportunity to see this road going production Afeela 1 is doing well expertise to go racing on experience. But much as clever, this will do very well to have this one to be on the upcoming lap time challenges to be placed and go once again at Autodrome Valco Maggiore circuit. But I had decided to myself, and that brings out to have another kind of a UDRS Insportec livery will go for the same kind of a match and comparison to see which one is the different version. But appraisal will have to give a 5-star rating and make it much more neat to have a 7 out of 10. But here's my faster lap time to go increase and improve by a minute 35.088 seconds in the total time of 4 minutes 52.427 seconds has been earned and placed it at the podium. But very much more indeed to see this racing outfit well placed and uniquely by default to have a good placement when using two versions of Afeela. But one standard earning that goes up by 50,000 GT credits, but remember, clean well is the important thing to have the experience when driving with the Afeela 1 2026. Just have one important lesson to have this replay to go zoom in and have the thumbnail image we'll have to go capture on the scene. Okay, just like that. And consider this for car test number 3 and race number 1 for the event challenge is going to be well placed and deserved by one content replay is already saved. So I bet the Renault Avantime is waiting for me before heading up to circuit the Sonic the Clerks in B course layout on the reverse direction as the European Sonic Cup 500 will be coming up and go proceed as well, along with the WTC 900 at Circuit de Spa Francorchamps will put myself and challenge to the test. Looks like weekly challenges is already here by the 5th week of this month in August, so I'm about to be ready up and go start out to have a progress as I will be planned later on for the next video as the topic will always have to keep on forward after trying out with some 4 cars. But right now, 2 laps and preparation as I got some few parts including 3 compound tires in sports category to be put up to be ready up to go on main set. So I had to start out to go install with sports soft out with a full control computer and 2 parts with racing air filter and exhaust manifold to go update and calculate into 222 horsepower at 473.65 performance points. But that should do well, and I'll have to take a good look on manual adjustment by default that has a 6-speed transmission. I like that, and very good base model for the Avantime on the engine. Turns out differently, and well, you need to have a 21st century type model. And Thomas Laboratory is here, will be featured to be using with a green Avantime for this race in 2 laps around on the B course layout of Circuit D Scientific Clerks in reverse direction. This is very more interesting to have an all-time moment for the Renault Avantime since Gran Turismo 4 back from the mid-2000s. Just to have the nostalgia, and new heights awaits us to see the Avantime will go racing on the new places around in France. So here he is right now, he's on 8th place, and I'll have to give a good welcome on the tip interaction. Hey, Kappa, I'm Thomas Laboratory from France. Today, I'm riding in the Renault Avantime, a strange breed of coupe that just happens to be from my homeland. A coupe is usually supposed to be low and tight, right? Well, this car is built like a luxurious minivan. It's crazy. The large side windows on its recent made body immediately convey a sense of freedom that's totally bold and unique. It runs on a 3.0-liter V6 with lots of torque at low to mid speeds, and its aluminum roof frame offers a low center of gravity. That says, it's rather heavy for an FF car, so if you want it to go fast, you're going to have to keep it grounded. Got it all checked, and a bias has been accepted, Thomas Laboratory. I'll have to keep this good Renault Avantime 3.0 B6 24B will be stay grounded to go racing on the line. Good advice and well strategy tip to keep it nice and tight will go racing in one piece. So let's give the Avantime to go minivan on last place to go countdown in 3 seconds, and the weekly challenge will be the first one to go call dibs. But I can't believe it to see this most impressive interior dashboard in our own eyes, viewers. First time ever to see the Avantime to go featured to see this much more realistic dashboard, as the top speed is about to go for the kilometers to go up by almost 100 miles per hour, and for instance to be well placed to stop by in 160 kilometers per hour. So here's Antonio Santos in 10th place, coming up and overtake the Pescia 2008 Allure 2021 along with M. Waters in the Lancia Delta HF Integral Evoluzione 1991. But the handling turns out very nice and much more true successor for the Renault E-Space. But the Avantime is a good all-time nostalgia ever since by trying out since GT4 from the mid-2000s. But perfectly and all-time minivan nostalgia is about to go set out with some new heights and go around for the main part to be participate as a weekly challenge along with a special event at Osage Village. So I'm going in to take the 8th position in about 7 more European sports car and compact cars to go. Got to go pull out the brake drastically, and much more stable improvement because of the main parts to go adjusted quickly to go better up and suggested by under 500 performance point to get up higher. So almost there to catch up towards Kilian Drummond in the Pescia 208 GTI is now been coming up to be seen. But that was a Pescia 205 GTI 1988. Just have to get closer to catch up to the 4th place driver, as you already know who. It's Boss Beeper Boris in position number 4. Okay, next sector coming up. Just wait until Boss Beeper Boris is just right over here and exit at the bridge. So I do aboard the contact and watch out for the Renault Sport Magon Trophy and the Audi TTS Coupe 2003. Okay, that's the ticket. Moving on to the 5th place and rolling up to get focus on the Pescia 208 GTI by Pescia Sport 2014, as the Avantime will go in blue style and make it much more French-made exclusive. Alright, that should do very well to have a nice understeer cornering. Almost there to catch up to Coque Lopez to be overtake MP Albert, and the Peugeot RCZ GT Line 2015 is in third place. Steady as it goes. I bet one-way ticket to the finish line to go for the requirement of ejected to see the Avantime to go faster in action. Only 2 more to go. Decide to keep focus and have C. Marler, who will be the next on the list when using the Alpine 1600S, is now been well seen on position 2. Final lap is just arrived, and first turn to go understeer is going on the left. Got to get closer to the Alpine A110. Dive on in on turn 2. Classic and one modern nostalgia has got some good skills. We'll be going back onto the group. And there's the Volkswagen Golf GTI 7. Good clean and steady up to go competent to be well placed in first place lead. A very much more true successor for the Renault E-Space ever since to have a nice F1 version to go pack up in high-speed performance since Gran Turismo 2 back from 1999. But Renault spent years to have one good interesting idea to come up with a different unique minivan to have a 2-door shaped coupe like the Avantime has now been well placed to go for the left-hand side interior dashboard to be designed in France, and also to have some different set of modification, including with a wing spoiler that turns out very unique and well designed to have a talented to go in automobile artwork. And that is how this Avantime that brings out to go with some wide body compatible and swap engine to be well used with a Volkswagen GTI Vision GT Group 3 car to be well exemplified and make it more converted to become as a true successor like the E-Space as the original. But further yet, it's a very good all-time best French minivan to drive anywhere on the track and also to be well paraded to be racing at Le Mans. So I got some few more turns to go and last 2 sectors left remain. But I can't wait until the last race where I have to go cruising up and put up to the limitations to be well bound and have the Corvette CX.R Vision GT concept to see how it turns out to go challenging up with some Group 2 cars and less of the Group 3 cars as Circuit de Spa Francorchamps will be coming up soon as the plan, and the car itself will go additional by extra. But you will see. So I got one additional Corvette CX.R Vision GT after I just spent some hours of prepping and do some maintenance until this part of the content video to becoming as my own complete edition. So here comes the last turn. Final stretch is coming up and the blue Avantime is about to go clear and full start to be achieved at the podium. Now I'll have to sit back and relax and fast a lap time to get closer by under 3 minutes. And just in time to go place by 2 minutes, 55 seconds, and first race as a weekly challenges has now been earned and complete. Well, late for the party as ever, so I just spent a few days by doing some chores of hard work to get things to go clean and make it much more nice and normal. But I just really think about getting my focus as my YouTube channel has been already achieved by 1K subscribers, as my next goal will have to get up by 1500. Now here are the results in race number 2 by trying out with some 3 events for the update as the European Sunny Cup 400 as I took by 5 minutes, 57.628 seconds, and faster lap time on the second lap is 2 minutes, 54.994 seconds. Main event awesome and Avantime just go on the arrival. But once more to have a clean earning to go by 72,000 GT credit by 50% on clean bonus, well deserved, and I'll have to keep things up to go successful to have a good progression to have 4 races left to go for the 5th week of August until at the end of the month. So that's 100,000 GT credit to be well earned and one kind of a content replay coming up to have a good placement to be jump start on the arrival. Let's have 2 minutes and 50 seconds to be take place right here. Got to go zoom in and one domino image coming up to have a good placement right next to the Pescia 208 GTI and Renault Sport Megane Trophy RS. Let's have a look on car collection, viewers, shall we? This will go labeled by brand new and start out with a Renault Avantime 3.0 B6 24B 2002. A unique coupe that tests the boundaries of motorform design. First glance to see how this most impressive minivan from the standard version from GT4 to GT6 and becoming as a fully premium treatment view in Gran Turismo 7. The Avantime embodied Renault's unique spirit that proved the motorform zero-let wasn't the sole domain of minivans. But perfect and good top-on-the-road car has now been welcomed to be placed on board. The second one for the Afeela 1 2026 after the 2024 prototype. A new era of mobility that reimagines transportation. Updated and will improve for the new face of Afeela by the one title for next year in 2026. Same as ever, and different performance point to be changed up to be slightly different and still remain as an electric vehicle for all-wheel drive without shown for the horsepower and the weight. But deliveries are expected to begin in mid-2026. This forward-thinking model aims to redefine what a car can be, enhancing the concept of transportation. But I bet everybody really think about to have this one to be well shipped to Europe and America itself. But just you wait, viewers, I bet you might have to get your own Afeela 1 soon to have your own personal station and just have to drive anywhere to go on places. And last but not least, we're only two Corvettes on the CX Concept and the CX.R Vision GT Concept. An electric hypercar that offered a glimpse into the future of the Corvette. One good electric hypercar, concept car, and full-on electric road-going vehicle, but everybody really think about this good Corvette as a 10th generation to be predicted will be expected soon in early 2050s. But same as ever for the Vision GT concept on the Corvette CX.R. A futuristic GT racer born from the Corvette lineage. Nice. Awesome and beyond awesome to see one electric Corvette and a twin turbocharged BA hybrid will be ready up to go for a new scene of the chapter to see what's next. Well, August 2025 update gives me a lack of hard work out there to test out with some good cars and putting up with some new features about the update, along with some one menu to be putting up with some showcase about the history of Japan's pioneer vehicles. But not to mention about one featurescape background location to have a good scene in Tokyo Bay, along with some 3 new events, as I still might have to think about racing in Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps for the World Touring Car 900. Well, I really think testing out with the Renault Avantime is a perfect minifan nostalgia that every Gran Turismo fan is talking about. Is an all-time nostalgia from Gran Turismo 4 back from the mid-2000s. But amazing, awesome, and all-time favorite out there to see this minifan to put up with some nice interior detail to go full-on realistic, that features with some custom parts to go modified with or without a wide body kit to go on full racing spec to see this road car in action. But that would be a very good first example to have this one before entered as a special event for the weekly challenge at Osage Village, along with some 3 other vehicles, rolling one Afeela 1 2026 at Michelin Raceway, Road Atlanta for the Japanese 4-wheel drive challenge 600, along with 2 Chevy Corvettes for the CX Concept in electric hypercar, and also for the CX.R Vision Gran Turismo Concept for the twin turbocharged hybrid BA engine. But after all, as a big fan of Corvette, I can't say about 2 different kinds of Corvette is well been put up with a road-going electric hypercar and its race car concept sibling. It's all about to have some different skill, characteristic, and road car concept personality to see both Corvettes are about to go racing in action if you're about to be using in an online lobby. But consider this, both of them, including with the Afeela 1 2026, will have to be racing to go in one-man category when using in custom race. Just to let you guys know, I bet it's going to be quite interesting, and this will be my own kind of a favorite update as a big fan of Chevy Corvettes. But look at the time, viewers. I can't wait until next month update if it's going to be bring out to have one Vision Gran Turismo car, because Opel is about to be joined in to be part of the Vision GT project. But this is going to be having an all-time comeback to see one German manufacturer brand along with its counterpart from the UK is Vauxhall. But I'll have to think about it. I'll have to be patient, and then the main date for round 2 for 2025 GTWS at Berlin will be coming up until September 20. This will have to be ready to move on and wrap it up towards at the end of the current video, so I'll have to make sure one race and heading up to World Touring Car 900 at Circuit du Spa Francorchamps will have to be provided and put myself to be ready up to go hard and challenge, as I will decide to go usual for the Group 2, Group 1 or Group X racing specification to be set to be participate. I'll have to do my best any way I can. So thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Follow me on Deviant Art, Instagram, Twitter, GT Planet, Patreon, Discord, and more social media platforms. Plus, membership is now open to everyone who will join to get access for price levels a month with exclusive perks, custom emoji with my OCs, and many features to support the channel by becoming a member. It's the best way to help out with a super thanks as an extra will support and grow. And also check it out on my YouTube shorts that brings out with some showcases like UDRS Insportec, Total Drama fan art, and the Spencer Camp fan art liveries, and other various videos whenever you're welcome at any time. I'll be seeing you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again at the next current video. Keep on racing, stay clean.